Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Mental Cocktail. Today we're going to be doing something that is actually extremely easy to make. We throw it all in the blender and bake it, and that is a healthy version of banana bread. I'm probably going to make some eggs also to go with that, so if you would like to make both of those, stick around. Overripe banana got you down? I love having bananas at the house because they're extremely inexpensive, but the problem is it tends to brown very easily and then you have to throw them away. But wait, there's another option. So what I normally do is you can either, if you have time, you can make banana bread or those oat pancakes that I'd made with a banana that's going bad. But what I like to do also is freeze it. I'm gonna show you how I do that real quick. That's all we need is a couple of bananas that are going bad, a knife, and what we need to do is chop it and we put it in a Ziploc bag and freeze it for later. Next, we peel the banana. Now the main trick is to keep the bag flat on its side because when we place the overripe bananas in, we want to keep them separated. Let's see what we need. Like I mentioned before, there are only 5 ingredients. Looks like we need 3 ripe bananas, 2 cups of rolled oats, 2 large eggs, 1/4 cup of maple syrup, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Now that the oven is preheating, let's start adding all of the ingredients into the blender. We start out with the oats first because we need to make it into oat flour. So let's add 2 cups. Okay, let's check. See, we're looking for a consistency like flour. So there we go. There's our rolled oats. So now, all we have to do is add the rest of the ingredients, hit blend, and we're ready to go. Where did the shell fall on there? And round 2. Better. And the bananas. 3 in total. I'd like to take a moment and talk about sweetener. So most healthy recipes always call for maple syrup, pure maple syrup. Maple syrup is extremely expensive. So I always have gotten this log cabin table syrup. The ingredients are brown rice, water, cane sugar, and brown sugar. This is what I've always substituted for the maple syrup because no one can afford that. And then 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And we are ready to blend. Okay, if you see there's some sticky parts, so we need to clean up the edges. Just take the lid off. And then get a little spatula and clean it up like that. Just go all the way around and do that. Oh, the oven's ready. Okay, let's try this again. So we're looking for a batter that looks like that. A little bit liquidy. And what we need to do next is butter a loaf pan. I actually purchased this one at Goodwill. I don't know, $3. So if you can tell, I own a lot of stuff from Goodwill. They have really good, expensive kitchen stuff there. So I like to use butter, but you can use canola spray or any kind of oil. But I always put a little bit of butter. Who doesn't want a little bit more butter in their life, right? And then you just kind of rub all the corners and the sides. There we go. And then we pour the batter into the loaf pan. And get a spatula to make sure everything comes out. You can really smell the bananas. And now we just throw it into the oven. Preheated at 350 and we'll cook it for 30 minutes. Now while we're waiting for it to bake, let's have our mental health minute. Having a bad day? Sometimes it can last weeks, maybe even months, but I have found 5 things that really help my mental health and I wanted to share them with you. You can write it out. You can take a little time and cry it out. You can walk it out. You can dance it out. Or you can meditate. I hope some of those tips help you out. You can try all of them or just one of them and see what works for you. Now let's get back to our banana bread. It's been 30 minutes, so now we need to check on the bread. And we need to pierce the knife into the center and see if it comes out clean. You can see it's a little bit dirty, so that means it's not done yet. So we need to put it in for 5 more minutes. It's been 5 more minutes, so let's check. Oh yeah, that looks really good. Let's get our little knife in there. Good enough. There we go. Delicious, healthy banana bread. It's best not to cut into the banana bread as soon as you take it out of the oven, so it's cooling. And while it's cooling, let's make some eggs for a little protein with it. Obviously you can eat banana bread as a dessert or just a side, but we're gonna make it with breakfast today. So let's get the skillet going. And I usually like my eggs on medium heat, and we'll add a little bit of olive oil to the griddle. Now I like to spread it out evenly so that the eggs do not stick. And we need to let it heat for a couple of minutes, because if you put the eggs on too soon, then it'll get sticky. And if you put the eggs on when the griddle is too hot, then it also gets sticky. So there is a bit of an art form to it. We'll be making over medium eggs. So this has been heating for 2 minutes. So we'll just carefully put them in. See, it's like the perfect temperature right there. Again, I have it on medium heat. Ooh, that was ugly. And that's why we keep that stuff in there. It looks like they're ready to go. We could leave them up like that, and that's called sunny side up, but I like mine a little bit more cooked. I always try to divide them like that, and then you get under and flip. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. It's all about practice. Let's do another one. Boom. Let's see if we can do 4 times the charm. Look at that. We only leave it for a very short amount of time flipped. Otherwise, you're gonna overcook the eggs. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat off. And then I like to take them out and flip them back. Voila. Let's add a little bit of salt and pepper to the eggs. I also got some fresh parsley from my little potted herb garden. So let's throw some of those on there as well. And I have some tomatoes that are, sorry, fresas, English word, strawberries that are going bad. So I went ahead and just cut a couple of those up as well. And now for the piece de resistance, let's get our banana bread cut. There we go. There we go. Look at that. If you try this at home, you will discover that they are beautiful and perfectly moist. Let's see if we can get it out. No pressure. Well, this one's sticky. Oh my gosh. Pine cone. See, this is what happens when you cut it too soon. Do you see how it's messy? Trust me, it'll taste delicious, but let's wait for it to cool down for a minute. Yeah! It'll do, folks. It'll do. There we go. Look at that beauty. I mean, come on, look at that texture. We did it. Barely, but we did it. Well, the banana bread is ready to go. And my favorite part about this one is it's so healthy that I have no problem adding butter to it. So I'm gonna add some butter for my last bite. And here we go. Oh my gosh, this one's so yummy. It's like a banana punch to the face. It's so perfectly moist, 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 moist. See you next time, guys. Okay.
And 1, 2.
Oh my God. Wait, I'm not ready. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Mental Cocktail. Now today we're going to be something. Who am I?